Hello, my name is John, and today we're in the cockpit of the AJS-37 Viggen again. In this video we want to take a look at the RB-75 air-to-ground missile. So let's get started. Now first of all, let's talk about the RB-75 itself for a moment. Now you guys, if you have flown the A-10, you probably know the RB-75 under a different name. Because the RB-75 is the same as the AGM65 Maverick. It has these, it's just a different name for the Swedish Air Force. Now the AGM65 we have for the Viggen has a range of up to 22 kilometers, and the warhead is about 120 kilograms heavy. And the guidance is with the electro-optical seeker. So you need to visually identify the target on a screen and then lock onto that target and then fire the weapon. Once fired, the weapon is fully autonomous and will impact the target wherever the aircraft does. Now, when they retrofitted the AGM65 or the RB-75 to the Viggen, they realized they had no space in the cockpit to fit the LCD screen, which would be big enough to make target acquisition possible. And so the Saab wizards came up with a electro-optical sight, the EP-13, which is this small circular thing up here, and it uses the same collimination technology like the HUD does, but instead with a green only screen with a full black and white and grayscale screen. And that can be used to find the targets, then lock onto them and engage with the RB-75s. Now I guess let's do that. So first of all we need to set up the aircraft. We want to go into the master mode ANF for attack, and on the weapon mode selector, if we zoom in, we can go to the RB-75 position, which is the first one. Now you have probably noticed that the radar turned black, and that's because the radar will be used for radar ranging. Currently I think there's a small bug preventing the horizontal bar indicating the range to be shown, but that will be apparently fixed next Friday. So upon then you will have a horizontal bar, and once the horizontal bar, it will get shorter and shorter the closer are you to the target, and once it's within those two outer horizontal lines, it means you're within release range. But usually at this distance, if you're not further than 20 kilometers away, you will usually have no chance of locking up on the target anyway, because the electro-optical seeker is not that great. Now, finding the target is quite difficult, especially if it's not conveniently placed on an airfield like in this mission. There is little help you get, or at least some help you get, and if you set the target waypoint, like I have done right now, right onto the target, if you are in the RB-75 mode, this small circle on the HUD will appear, and this will show you the approximate ground position of the target, so you can at least align with the aircraft heading-wise. Now, let's go and have a look at the EP-13 sight, and we can see there's a full screen in there. Usually you just can see a bit of it. If you go very close you can see a bit more. That's just how the sight works. You will lean in though to operate it properly. Now currently the crosshair is bore sighted, and by default it will be bore sighted. And to move it you have to press down the T0 fix trigger to the T0 position, and then you can use the radar slew controls to move the crosshairs around as you want. And they are not ground stabilized, so it's recommended that you put the aircraft into altitude hold mode, or at least attitude hold mode, to be somewhat stable and not have the crosshair slew all over the place. And once we are close enough to the target and we can actually identify our target, we will push down the trigger further into the TV position, which will cause the missile to lock onto the target. And then we're going ahead and we'll put the weapon to unsafe, and then we're going to fire the missile. So let me unpause the mission first and enable the autopilot for altitude and altitude hold, and let's get closer to the target. Currently we are about 30 kilometers away, which would be outside of the release range for the RB-75, but we're getting closer quickly. And as you can see, even if we zoom in quite a lot, you can't really make out anything on the screen. So let me zoom out a bit because this is just too big. Now, I mean, we can make out the airfield, and if we have a very big target you probably could make it out. I mean, while we are flying there we could try to lock on to a target or to a building. yeah, no, we cannot get a lock on the buildings either. They're just too far out yet. If we get closer, that will be possible though. If you happen to accidentally lock a target, for example a building or something you didn't want to shoot because it's maybe low priority or something, you can go ahead and just release the T0 and TV fix trigger, and then it will go back into the bore sight position and unlock from the current target. Now we're getting closer, about 21 kilometers out, and we can try to pick one of the targets on the first end of the runway on the left hand side here. And in this attack we were firing 2 out of our 4 missiles. If you're very good and quick with the releasing and finding the target, you can actually go ahead and fire at least 3 or even all 4 RB-75s in one pass. So, okay, we got the first lock. Now we put the trigger to unsafe and fire. And there it goes. And the EP-13 went dark, and to get the next missile selected we're going to head and put the weapon safety on and back off again. Now we can go ahead and scout for the next target. That's the water, sorry, a bit too close. Okay, we've engaged one of the first 2 on the left. I guess we'll go for this target over here. There we go, got the lock. Weapon safety is off. Firing. No, just put the safety back on and the next EP-13. The next RB-75 is shown on the EP-13 optical sight. Now let's put in the burner and fly a bit. And especially if you go fast, it's quite interesting with the Viggen, you can overtake the missiles in flight. And if you fire 3 missiles, you can make it happen that the first missile which you fire impacts as last missile, and the last missile you fire impacts first. So that's quite neat, because that's not possible with the A-10 because it's just so slow. There we go, we had the first explosion, and looks like the other missile actually fell short for some reason. Maybe had a bit of a issue aligning to that target, or maybe it was a bit too weak. Maybe we should have gone a bit faster before releasing. But yeah, you generally get the idea for firing RB-75s, I hope. It's not too difficult, especially compared to the other weapons the Viggen has. And with some training you will get much better than me, hopefully. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this tutorial. I hope you could learn something, and hopefully see you in the next one. Fly safe and have a good day.